are going to explain the concept of market structure. You must remember that market refers to a mechanism or arrangement by which buyers and sellers are able to contact each other for having economic exchange and are able to strike a deal about the price and the quantity to be bought and sold. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? तुम्हें जानना चाहिए कि मार्केट एक ऐसे मैकेनिज्म को कहते हैं जहां हम लोग क्या देखते हैं कि बायर्स और सेलर्स जो हैं वो एक दूसरे के कांटेक्ट में आते हैं। किस लिए? टू हैव इकोनॉमिक एक्सचेंज, दैट मीन्स एक्सचेंज इन टर्म्स ऑफ मनी, और उनके द्वारा प्राइस और कितना क्वांटिटी खरीदा या बेचा जाएगा इसके बीच एक बैलेंस स्ट्राइक किया जाता है। इसे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? मार्केट। नाउ मार्केट कैन बी क्लासिफाइड इनटू परफेक्ट कंपटीशन, मोनोपोली, monopolistic competition and oligopoly. Now let us come to the discussion of the topic perfect competition. Perfect competition refers to a market situation where there are large number of buyers and sellers selling homogeneous or identical products in the market. So we have just classified the market forms into perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and besides that there is another market which is called as the buyer's market, represented by monopsony. Now let us see that what is actually perfect competition. Remember, perfect competition is a market situation where there are large number of buyers and sellers, and each seller is supplying such a negligible proportion of the total output of the industry that they are not in a position to influence the price by changing their own output decision. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि परफेक्ट कंपटीशन एक ऐसे मार्केट फॉर्म को कहते हैं जहां पे लार्ज नंबर ऑफ बायर्स एंड सेलर्स होते हैं और प्रत्येक सेलर मार्केट का जो टोटल आउटपुट है उसका एक छोटा सा हिस्सा उनके द्वारा प्रोड्यूस किया जाता है, और इस कारण से इस सप्लाई को बढ़ाकर या घटाकर वो प्राइस को किसी भी प्रकार इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर पाते। इसलिए हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? द सेलर्स आर प्राइस टेकर्स अंडर परफेक्ट कंपटीशन। Am I clear to you all? Now see, similarly the buyers are also not in a position to influence the market price by changing the demand for the product, because each customer or each buyer is buying only a negligible part of the total market demand. Naturally, by changing his demand, he is not in a position to influence the price of the product in the market. तो यहां से हम लोग क्या समझे कि बायर्स भी कीमत को किसी भी तरह इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर पाते। कारण क्या है? क्योंकि उनके द्वारा जो डिमांड किया जा रहा है वो टोटल मार्केट डिमांड का एक छोटा सा हिस्सा है, और इस डिमांड को वो बढ़ाकर या घटाकर वो कीमत को किसी भी प्रकार इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर सकता है। तो ये हुआ सबसे पहला विषय कि हमने क्या पढ़ा कि अंडर परफेक्ट कंपटीशन देयर आर लार्ज नंबर ऑफ बायर्स एंड सेलर्स। Now we are coming to the second point, that is homogeneous products. The sellers under perfect competition sell homogeneous or identical products in the market. जिसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि इन वस्तुओं को बायर्स के द्वारा किसी भी प्रकार से डिफरेंशिएट नहीं किया जा सकता है, बिकॉज ऑल द सेलर्स आर selling identical products in the market which are same in nature. They are completely identical. Their size, colors, shape, etc. are same. And what we find that since the sellers are selling homogeneous or identical products in the market, the implication of this characteristic is that uniform price will prevail in the market, and there is no reason for a seller to raise the price of his product in the market. Why? Because if he raises the price of his product, he will lose all his customers to the other sellers in the market. Now similarly, the buyers will also not influence the price of the product, because he will not have a preference for any one particular seller's product in the market, because all the sellers are selling the same or identical product in the market. तो हमने यहाँ पे क्या समझा कि यहाँ पे जो प्रोडक्ट बेचा जा रहा है वो क्योंकि आइडेंटिकल है, इसलिए हम क्या देखते हैं कि मार्केट में जो प्राइस है वो सेम रहता है, यानी आइडेंटिकल रहता है। और कोई भी सेलर इस कीमत को अगर बढ़ाता है तो ऐसे स्थिति में वो अपने सब कस्टमर्स अन्य सेलर्स को खो बैठेगा। और इसी तरह से हम लोग क्या देखते हैं कि बायर्स जो हैं वो किसी एक पर्टिकुलर सेलर के प्रोडक्ट को प्रेफर नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि सभी सेलर्स के द्वारा एक ही प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में बेचा जा रहा है। तो ये हुआ हमारा दूसरा फीचर या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक। अब तीसरा हम क्या बताएं, प्राइस टेकर एंड आउटपुट एडजस्टर। तो पहले पॉइंट में हम इस विषय पर आलोचना किए हैं कि हमने बताया कि इस मार्केट में क्योंकि सेलर्स के द्वारा होमोजीनियस या आइडेंटिकल प्रोडक्ट्स बेचे जाते हैं और यहाँ पे प्रत्येक सेलर के द्वारा जो आउटपुट सप्लाई किया जाता है वो टोटल मार्केट का एक छोटा सा हिस्सा होने के कारण वो सप्लाई को बढ़ाकर या घटाकर प्राइस को किसी भी प्रकार प्रभावित नहीं कर पाते। तो यहां पे ध्यान में रखना होगा कि द प्राइस इन द मार्केट इज डिटरमाइंड बाय द फोर्सेस ऑफ मार्केट डिमांड एंड मार्केट सप्लाई, and this price is to be taken as given parameter, and no seller is in a position to influence the price by changing his own output decision, and at this price average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. Now we are discussing the next feature of perfect competition, that is free entry and exit. So you must remember that under perfect competition there is free entry and exit. What does it mean? It means that the new firms can enter into the industry whenever they desire or whenever they wish so, and similarly the old firms may leave the industry whenever they desire. So this implies that there is no legal or natural or man-made restrictions. This necessarily implies that in the long run a firm under perfectly competitive market always enjoy normal profits only. So if some firms are earning supernormal profits in the short period, then it will attract new firms into the industry in the long period, and as a result the market supply will increase, and that will result in fall in the price of the product in the market, and that will bring normal profits only to the existing firms. And similarly, if some firms are incurring losses in the short period, they will leave the industry in the long period, and as a result the market supply will reduce, and that will lead to the rise in market price, resulting in normal profits only to the existing firms. So this is the significance of free entry and exit under perfectly competitive market. We are coming to the next point, that is perfect knowledge about the market condition. What does it mean? That under perfectly competitive market, the resources can switch over from one use to another, and this condition ensures that the new firms can enter into the industry and the old ones can leave the industry whenever they desire. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि ऐसे मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर में हम लोग क्या देखते हैं कि जो रिसोर्सेज हैं वो इजीली एक इंडस्ट्री से दूसरी इंडस्ट्री में मूव कर सकते हैं, या एक यूज से दूसरे यूज में उन्हें लगाया जा सकता है, और इसके द्वारा ये इंश्योर किया जाता है कि परफेक्ट कंपटीशन में नए फर्म्स घुस सकते हैं और ओल्ड फर्म्स जो हैं वो मार्केट से बाहर जा सकते हैं. सेलिंग कॉस्ट. Now, as we have observed that the buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge about the market condition, therefore, the sellers are not required to incur any expenditure on advertisement and selling, that is, on sales promotion. Now, we are coming to the next point, low transport cost. Here, we assume that there is absence of transport cost, and this very assumption is necessary so that the price remains the same in the industry. So, to conclude, we can say that perfect competition is a market situation where there are large number of buyers and sellers selling homogeneous or identical products in the market. And under perfect competition, we find that the sellers are price taker and output adjuster, because the price in the market is determined by the forces of demand and supply, and each seller has to take the prices given in the market. That is, by changing their own output decision, they are not in a position to influence the price of the product in the market. Next, we find that there is free entry and exit, as we have discussed earlier. And besides that, the buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge about the market condition. There is free movement of factors of production from one industry to another. And what we find, that there is no advertisement and selling expenses. And lastly, we find that there is absence of transport cost. So therefore, this market does not prevail in the real world. Now we are going to discuss the concept of monopoly. Now, what is monopoly? See here, the term monopoly has been derived from two Greek words, namely monos, which means single, and polis, which means seller. So the term monopoly refers to a single seller. यानी ये एक ऐसे मार्केट फॉर्म को कहते हैं जहां पे मार्केट में केवल एक ही मात्र सेलर होता है. अब यहाँ पे ध्यान में रखना होगा कि since he is the only seller of the product in the market, he enjoys full control over the supply of the product in the market, and accordingly he has an influence over the price of his product. But on the other hand, the buyers are not in a position to influence the price of the product, as they constitute of a large number. Now, we find that the second point is no close substitutes. That is, under monopoly, the seller sells such a product which has no close substitutes in the market. That necessarily means that the product is a unique product and there is no other firm producing the similar nature of product in the market. So accordingly, what we find that under monopoly there might be a distant substitute of the same product, but that may be of poor quality, costly, and what we find it may have a poor quality. So naturally, in that case, what we find that the seller is not in competition with other firms because there is absence of competition under monopoly. So suppose in West Bengal, State Electricity Board has a pure monopoly in respect of supply of electricity. But what we find, it has a distant substitute, that is generator. But what we find that generator is costly, it is inconvenient, and thirdly it is poor. So naturally this cannot be a close substitute of electricity which is supplied by the State Electricity Board. Let us come to the next point, that is absence of competition. That means under monopoly there is restriction to the entry of new firms into the industry, which means that the new entrepreneurs cannot enter into the profit making firm because these profit making firms will debar the entry of new firms into the industry. Now, absence of competition means that there are legal, natural and man-made restrictions which debars the entry of new firms into the industry. Now, these restrictions may be in the form of, say for example, the seller may have a patent right or copyright or government restriction, or it may enjoy large economies of scale. So naturally what we find that the seller under monopoly enjoys a market power, and accordingly what we find that under monopoly the firm is having a full control over the price of his product. Lastly, we find that under monopoly, the demand curve faced by a firm is highly price inelastic. Highly price inelastic means the shape of the demand curve will be of this nature. See here, along y-axis we are measuring average revenue, and along x-axis we are showing output. Remember, average revenue curve is also called the demand curve of a monopolist. And what we find that here the demand for his product is inelastic. Now remember, the probable questions which may be asked are, number one, you may be asked that what is monopoly? Explain its features. Or you may be asked that under monopoly, a seller is a price maker. Explain. Or you may be asked that under perfect competition a seller is a price taker, while under monopoly a firm is a price maker. Explain. And you may also be asked that what is the difference between perfect competition and monopoly. And lastly, you may be asked that what is perfect competition and what are its features. Explain briefly. अच्छा बच्चों, अब हम समझते हैं कि आप लोगों को ये वीडियो पसंद आया होगा, और अगर कहीं तुम्हें कोई असुविधा हो तो आप कमेंट कर सकते हैं या हमसे सजेशंस ले सकते हैं। और इसके बाद हम लोग अगला टॉपिक जो डिस्कस करेंगे वो है मोनोपॉलिस्टिक कंपटीशन और ओलिगोपॉली, जो कि आप हमारे अगले वीडियो में देख सकते हैं। और इसके अलावा हम मोनोपॉली के विषय पर भी आलोचना करेंगे। तो अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो आप इसे जरूर लाइक और शेयर कीजिएगा, और हो सके तो इस वीडियो को और इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए।